Greetings and salutations, everyone! My name is Fire Mage, and welcome back to Rimworld Ascension Take 2, Episode 25. If you enjoy this episode, please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, the mod list is down in the description. And with that, let's get on to the episode. Alright, well, picking up where we left off last episode, after dealing with that vampire, and by dealing with it, I mean leaving them in our backyard, what do I want to get done today? Well, I think the first thing I'm going to put onto my list is building a sauna. Because, to be honest, I don't really have a lot of big projects to work on, and considering we had 2 back-to-back heart attacks, I think getting a sauna is a viable idea. Other than that, though, I mostly am going to just be focusing on getting some stone bricks so that I can finish stonifying all my buildings, and if we have the chance, finishing up the smoothing of stone up here. You know, another project, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that I could get done, is building a bridge. I've been putting it off for a while, but I do still need to build a bridge connecting the other side of the river, and I was intending to put it here. Although the asteroids are now in the way, I can still kind of work around it, turning the old dock into a bridge. We'll make it only 1 tile for now, as we don't really need to make it too much bigger. But eventually, I'd like to make it a bit thicker, but that is not the priority currently. And there we go! Legionary Armaments has been researched, which means we are now going to research caster gear. Just because. Now, I'm also having Sam go ahead and carry the vampire, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw them up in here, just in case they somehow manage to heal themselves and start walking. They will be locked in there. And it looks like one of the sky eels has become enraged after being harmed, and it has caused a bunch of them to go hostile as well. White, I'm going to need you to start retreating. Alright, Tomoko has now been shoved into the ideology room. Oh, and Coog is out of ammo. That's not good. Coog, you should probably run. Oh! And one of our Norwegian cats just got killed. Let's see, what killed him? Looks like it was, in fact, the sky eel. Interesting. Alright, well, sky eels have been dealt with. Or at least those 2 have. It's a good thing we're getting rid of them now before they become any larger of a threat. Hopefully we can just get them dealt with quickly. Now, as for the sauna, I'm not entirely sure how it works, so I'm not sure exactly what kind of building I should go for. But I'm thinking, just to test it, we could convert this, which was where we were storing hay, into the sauna. Which will give us the ability to just see what exactly it's all about. Now, okay, so 200 stone bricks is required to build it. No, we have 200 limestone bricks, but we don't want to use limestone. So we will use slate, and then we will put in some sauna seating, like so. And I believe that's technically all we need to do, but we'll have to wait and see. And Sappy has returned successful from the trading mission. Recreation starved, but successful. That is good. We'll have to send Sappy out again here soon to go do another trading mission, but I'd say that was pretty good. I've also gone ahead and queued up another weapons cabinet for the armory, as well as moving the current one over as well, just so that we can get the weapons out of the warehouse. They're taking up a lot of unnecessary space. Need to conserve space where we can, after all. And caster gear is researched. Probably won't be using it, seeing as we need a lot of LTEX for that, but we have it as an option. Next up, we will do heavy shield making. Get some extra potential armor. Also, checking in on how our little vampire is doing, it would appear that all the injuries are gone, but they still can't do anything because, well, they have no limbs. So, that seems to work quite well. And we will just be leaving her in there until we figure out what to do with her, or make a different spot to put her. And there it is. The final part of this section of the wall. Unfortunately, I can't say that it's done yet, because we still have this half to do, and then this part, but that means we are now fully defended from any potential attacks coming from the west, unless they walk around, but they will have to walk around here into a little choke point. So I consider that to be a victory, and that means that I now will lay the beginnings of the next section, which will be pretty simple, connecting here to here. That'll take a while, but hopefully it'll get done eventually. In other news, though, our cheese is also done. So we can now finally pull that out. We got 25 cheese of normal quality, which we will do once again, because we do have a little bit of milk. Not enough, but that's because everyone keeps drinking it. Also, I'm going to put one more thing on the list. Seeing as we have now finished up the western wall, I think we should expand the animal pens over here. Because, well, it's pretty clear that I can now simply just do something like this. Put a little bit of fencing here. And same thing over here. Like that. And that will give our animals a lot more space to roam around. Unfortunately for the pigs, they don't get an expanded area. They're kind of limited in size, but the geese and goats can certainly get larger areas. At least for a little bit, until I inevitably need to expand into those regions, but that is not a problem for right now. That is a problem for the future. Oh dear. Well, it would appear we are now being hit with a heat wave, while it's already 93 degrees Fahrenheit at night. That is not good. That is really not good. Alright, well, that means we will be once again slapping passive coolers into every single major room, just to try to keep the temperatures at a relatively manageable level. Also, they should probably take their parkas off. Hopefully they will do that on their own, if needed, but I will not force them unless it becomes an actual problem. But getting these coolers built is going to be a necessity. This will also be the first real test that our freezer will be going through. Can it maintain below freezing while in a heat wave? Only time will tell. Oh, it would appear that Krine has managed to crank out 2 crossbows and is about to get a 3rd. Very, very nice. Alright, let's see. So, it has a range of 22. And what is the damage? The damage is 20. How does that compare to our recurves? Damage 14. Okay. Alright, so these definitely seem like they're a bit more on the specialty side of weapons. Armor penetration of 20% versus... Oh, it would seem the recurves actually have slightly more armor penetration. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. In fact, that actually raises the question on whether or not we should keep making them, and I think the answer is no. That is certainly something. I mean, a bit unexpected, but it happens sometimes. Sometimes you make a miscalculation, and this just so happens to be one of them. But we can sell those crossbows off for some extra money, I suppose. Oh, and it would seem we are getting some friendlies from the Eastern Republic, including Carbo, White's aunt. Whoa, that's a lot of guys. Hello. Wow. Also, I completely forgot the scorpions are able to be picked up and wielded like normal weapons. Should probably build some of those, actually. Can I build those? Yes, I should build some of these. I'm going to build some of these. I will build one of them here, just because. Alright, and heavy shield making, researched. Next up, riding gear for animals. I'm sure we'll find a use for that. Anyway, as I was saying, though, I will build one scorpion there, and we will build another one here. Since we can also pick those up, they will be very useful if we ever decide to go and attack anyone. Because we can just plop them down and use them as turrets. Of course, that means we actually have to go and attack people, which we don't usually do. Tends to be bad for business. Oh, and they are leaving as soon as they came because it is too hot. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it's 133 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now. And what is the freezer at? The freezer is still at 24. Wow, okay, so those passive coolers are really putting in the work. Definitely seems like that was a good investment. I mean, the little cooler in here, it is trying its hardest, but it is still 100 degrees inside. So, no, it's trying, but it's not quite making it. Although I suppose if anyone starts getting too close to heat stroke, they can always just go and stand in the freezer for a little bit. I'm sure that would cool them right off. And it would seem that while attempting to build the sauna, Carrie just wasted all of our slate. That is really annoying. But it is to be expected. That just means we need to get more stone bricks. And there we go. One pen expanded. And it can now actually support all the goats that we have. Very nice. And writing gear is finished at the same time. Very good. Very poetic, one might even say. Alright, next up, noble decorations. Why not? Get some fancy looking stuff to build. And it looks like Carrie is actually about to finish up the second pen for the geese. This one isn't that big of an expansion, but, you know, it's a little bit more space for them. And there we are. It is done. The pens are expanded. And that is where I'm going to leave this episode off. We finally got the Western Wall done. Excellent. Very great. Now we got to do the Eastern Walls. So, yay. I have a feeling we're not going to get the wall done by the time we get to the Industrial Era. We also are inching ever closer to getting to the Industrial Era. Speaking of, We should only need a handful more research projects. The biggest problem right now is figuring out which ones to research. We also found out that crossbows are useless, so that's certainly something. Let's go ahead and remove the pens off the list since that is no longer needed. And with all that said and done, I will see you all in the next episode.